This is a bitch, bro. I don't give a what none of y'all saying.
Trippie Redd just dropped a bomb. He posted a chilling clip of 6ix9ine behind bars.
I don't support bullies or
And the internet exploded with reactions. At first, everyone thought it was just another troll move, something 6ix9ine would pull for attention. But then, boom, one creepy detail in that video made people pause and rewind again and again. Things got real dark after that. On January 6, 2026, Daniel Hernandez, better known as Tekashi 6ix9ine, officially turned himself into federal custody at MDC Brooklyn. He was there to serve a short 3-month sentence for violating the conditions of his supervised release tied to his old 2019 racketeering case. The situation was serious, but of course, 6ix9ine made it dramatic. He didn't just surrender, he live-streamed the whole thing, with streamer Adin Ross in the mix playing Akon's Locked Up while federal agents rolled in to cuff him. It was wild, like a movie scene gone viral. Within hours, the footage was everywhere. Clips, memes, reactions, the whole internet lit up.
I already told you, bro. You just keep doing it, bro. I don't know why you hate on me so much, bro. You lit, bro. You know what I mean? Your music is lit, bro. You signed to the same label, you still hate on me, you try to throw dirt on my name, you try to tell people not to work with me, bro. Man, bro, that's mad corny, bro. Nobody try to blackmail you, bro. Like, you act like a real female, bro.
The video caught 6ix9ine joking around in his final moments before getting booked, surrounded by cameras and laughs. He cracked jokes about the type of people he might meet inside, even saying he could end up with Nicolas Maduro or Luigi Mangione as cellmates. But behind all the clowning, you could feel it. This wasn't just content for clout anymore. It was real, and it hit heavy. This wasn't 6ix9ine's first time walking through the doors of MDC Brooklyn. He'd already done a stint there back in 2018 and 2019 during his federal racketeering case. But this new trip, it wasn't about old crimes. It was about him slipping up again and again. Judge Paul Engelmeyer didn't hold back either, saying 6ix9ine had repeatedly blown his chances, even after being shown major leniency by the courts. Everything was right there in the paperwork. Back in October 2024, 6ix9ine got picked up in New York for failing multiple drug tests, testing positive for meth and Adderall. On top of that, he took unauthorized trips to Las Vegas and the Dominican Republic without even letting his probation officer know he got arrested overseas. That move got him detained for 2 full weeks straight. Then, just a month later in November 2024, the court hit him with a 45-day sentence for those same violations, but he didn't stop there. By December 2025, things spiraled even harder. He got slapped with a 90-day sentence for still violating terms, missing community service, using drugs again, and failing to report that same Dominican Republic arrest.
Because remember, me and Redd is on the same label, so he was supposed to blow up before me. So they were putting all the money into him. And the fact that when Gummo took off, the streets went crazy. Like, they fell in love with Gummo, and like, to the label, I became the priority, and they benched Trippie and they put me ahead. And it just felt so good because he talked so much that it just felt good. Like, hearing my song on the radio for the first time.
The man just couldn't stay out of trouble. By the time January 2026 came around, the footage of his surrender had already gone viral. Millions of views in no time. It showed a guy who once ruled the charts now standing in line to get processed like anyone else. For fans who've been keeping up with 6ix9ine's roller coaster since day one, that moment hit deep. And for Trippie Redd, that image spoke volumes. This whole situation goes way deeper than just a viral clip. It's not just internet noise. There's a long, messy history behind it. Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine were not always enemies. Back in 2017, they were actually cool. They made music together, signed under the same label, and even shared the same come-up energy. But that bond didn't last long. Everything flipped when 6ix9ine allegedly had Trippie attacked in a New York hotel lobby, a move he later pleaded guilty to during his federal trial. That was the point of no return. After that, 50 Cent jumped in and made things even crazier. He spent years clowning 6ix9ine in public, mocking his testimony, mimicking his voice in interviews, and reminding everyone about that attack every chance he got. The beef turned into part of hip-hop history, and it never really cooled off. Fast forward to now, and their positions couldn't be more different. Trippie Redd is still out here living it up, dropping tracks, touring, and keeping his career moving strong. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine's sitting behind bars at MDC Brooklyn. not set to be released until spring 2026.
I get into the hotel. It's a talk about I'm 9 Trey, blah blah blah. So I go to that nigga up, and it's a next to him, bro, and it stole on me and hit me in my mouth. Because this is the only thing that happened to Trippie Redd, bro. The nigga hit me one time, bro, and then my niggas beat their ass.
The live stream of his surrender, where he was cracking jokes while getting handed off to federal agents, became the latest scene in this long-running feud that's been brewing for nearly a decade. And to really get why this footage hits so hard, why Trippie's reaction carries so much weight, you gotta go back to where it all started, back to 2017. A studio on Sunset Boulevard, an Airbnb out in Venice Beach, and that meeting at 888 Wilshire with Elliot Grange. That's where this wild story truly began. You really gotta grasp what they had built before everything fell apart. It all kicked off with one track, Polls 1469. That song was the spark that lit the fire between Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine. The year was 2017, and the SoundCloud wave was exploding, pumping out new rappers so fast the industry couldn't keep up. Two wild, colorful personalities, face tats, rainbow hair, and raw energy, stood out from the chaos. Those two would soon be linked forever, through both their music and the madness that followed. At first, it was all about creative chemistry, but soon the connection turned messy. Music, violence, betrayal, and one of hip-hop's most drawn-out feuds. Trippie Redd, born Michael Lamar White, was on the come-up, catching the underground's attention with tracks that hit hard and built him a loyal following. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine, real name Daniel Hernandez, was out in New York hustling nonstop. He was shooting and editing his own videos, scraping up whatever cash he could from side gigs just to afford flights to Los Angeles, chasing opportunities that could finally make him blow up.
What is the situation with you and 6ix9ine right now?
I honestly don't know. It's just the internet. Bro, just keep bringing me up. That's all it is. We already had squash. What we was talking about, he pulled up on me and we talked about that. He wasn't even on nothing I was on because, you know, I'm crazy, you feel me? So I was trying to fight. He wasn't trying to fight. He wanted to talk about it. He wanted to talk it out.
Their link-up came through Adam 22 from No Jumper, who at that time was like the gatekeeper for the whole SoundCloud scene. 6ix9ine's told this story a bunch of times in interviews, how he hustled his way to LA with money he made filming a music video for some random dude at Home Depot. But when he landed, expecting to link up with Adam 22, dude completely ghosted him. No calls, no meetup, nothing. That moment set off a chain of events that would soon rewrite both their careers and start a drama that still echoes today. It was actually Adam 22's boy, Andrew, better known as Trife Drew, who lit the fire under 6ix9ine's grind. He dropped a simple but game-changing idea that would flip both of their careers upside down. He told 6ix9ine, "Yo, there's this kid Trippie Redd going wild on SoundCloud. You should hit his DMs and make something happen." That one suggestion changed everything. That same night, inside Hitway Studio, they cooked up a track that would change both their lives. Polls 1469. The chemistry in that room was instant. Raw energy, no filters, just pure chaos turned into sound. It was the kind of collab that could only happen once, and it hit at the perfect time when SoundCloud rap was shaking the entire industry. Trippie was all in from the jump. He wanted to shoot the video the very next day. 6ix9ine was broke at the time, like really broke, but he wasn't about to let anyone know that. He agreed to do the shoot on one condition. Trippie had to cover all the costs. Trippie didn't hesitate. He dropped a few $100 on an ATV excursion out in the desert, and that's where the magic happened. They turned what was supposed to be a fun hangout into a full-blown video shoot. 6ix9ine, using all those editing and filming skills he'd learned from hustling random gigs, took the footage and edited the entire thing himself that same night. By the next day, the video was live, and it blew up. The response went crazy. The numbers shot up so fast that it caught the attention of Elliot Grange, son of Lucian Grange, the major label power player who already had Trippie signed. Elliot wasted no time. He hit up his contacts and arranged a meeting with 6ix9ine at his office at 888 Wilshire. That moment right there set the stage for a new level of fame and a storm that nobody saw coming. That meeting at 888 Wilshire ended with 6ix9ine officially signing to Elliot Grange around July or August of 2017, locking him into the same label as Trippie Redd. On paper, it looked like a total win. Two rising stars from the same underground wave, already proven to make fire together, now under one roof. It was the perfect setup for a takeover. They kept the momentum rolling with another collab, which boosted their chemistry and their visibility even more. From the outside, it looked like the start of something major. Two artists with wild styles, bold face tats, and rainbow-colored hair, perfectly built for the SoundCloud generation. Industry insiders were watching close, saying these two could lead the next era of rap. Everything looked like it was lining up perfectly. But behind the smiles and music videos, tension was already creeping in. 6ix9ine later admitted that jealousy started building between them, both hungry for the spotlight, both chasing label attention, and both fighting for the same resources. As 6ix9ine's profile started skyrocketing, that balance shifted fast. What used to be brotherly competition turned into quiet resentment that kept growing louder with every success. Soon, that creative partnership that started on Sunset Boulevard was about to implode in spectacular fashion. The fallout didn't come slow. It blew up like fireworks. The friendship, the collabs, the whole "we're a team" energy, gone overnight. What followed was a full-on public explosion of accusations, drama, and betrayal. The kind of chaos that only the internet era could amplify. What once looked like a powerful creative duo became one of hip-hop's messiest rivalries, and both of them played their part in making sure the world watched every second of it. Things fell apart fast. What started as quiet tension exploded into a full-blown war of accusations, each one hitting harder than the last. The first major crack came when Trippie Redd went on social media and straight up called 6ix9ine a file in front of the entire internet. He was referencing 6ix9ine's 2015 guilty plea for involving a 13-year-old girl in an inappropriate performance, an old case that ended with probation, mandatory counseling, and registration requirements. Trippie didn't hold back for even a second. He posted a ruthless message that instantly went viral. "I'm sorry, bro. 1,400 don't promote files." That line cut deep because it hit the one topic 6ix9ine could never really escape from. His legal history was already the shadow hanging over his whole career, and now one of his former collaborators had just thrown it back in his face for the world to see. That moment drew a hard line. Whatever friendship or loyalty they had was gone for good. 6ix9ine clapped back the only way he knew how, with full confidence and chaos. He hopped in his car, started recording a video while eating food, and fired back at Trippie with that same mix of confusion, denial, and defiance that defined his whole public persona. He wasn't gonna sit quiet, not a chance. The internet couldn't stop talking about it. How did two artists who just made hits together end up at each other's throats like this? They were label mates, collaborators, and potential superstars. But in just weeks, everything flipped. Nobody could understand what triggered such a nasty, fast breakdown. From the outside, it looked like jealousy, betrayal, and personal grudges all crashing at once. And it marked the point where this beef officially turned nuclear. 6ix9ine's never shied away from giving his side of the story. He's been crystal clear in every interview since. He says the whole fallout came down to one thing: jealousy. According to him, once his fame started climbing and the label began shifting more resources his way, Trippie just couldn't handle watching him shine. That's the explanation 6ix9ine sticks with every single time. But 6ix9ine didn't just sit back and play defense against Trippie's shots. Nah, he went straight on the offensive. He fired back with claims of his own, accusing Trippie of having inappropriate ties with Bod Bobby, who was underage at the time. Both Trippie and Bod Bobby publicly denied it right away, though later Bod Bobby did admit that a kiss had happened between them. Even so, the damage was already done. The internet took that clip and ran with it. At that point, it wasn't even about music anymore. These two weren't battling for who had the better bars or who could top the charts. It was a straight-up war for reputation. Every move, every post, every live went deeper and darker as both artists tried to tear down each other's credibility in front of millions. It became one of the messiest beefs hip-hop had ever seen: personal, raw, and ruthless. Meanwhile, as all that chaos was playing out, 6ix9ine's career was skyrocketing. His single Gummo, which dropped in late 2017, exploded overnight, turning him from an underground name into one of the most viral, talked-about rappers in the game. The fame hit fast, the controversy hit harder, and 6ix9ine was right in the center of it all. Gummo turned 6ix9ine into a mainstream phenomenon almost overnight. But here's the wild part. What Trippie Redd didn't realize back then, and what 6ix9ine would later admit with zero shame, was that the beat for Gummo was actually finessed straight from Trippie himself. Yeah, you heard that right. The beat that made 6ix9ine's career was originally meant for Trippie. That sneaky move added a whole new level to their beef, a mix of betrayal, competition, and straight-up cold-blooded ambition. 6ix9ine took that beat, flipped it into his biggest hit ever, and surfed that viral wave all the way to the top of the industry, all while publicly beefing with the same dude he snatched it from. That's next-level ruthless. Even worse, the line in Gummo referencing KB was actually a subtle shot aimed at Trippie, a subliminal diss tucked right into the record that changed 6ix9ine's life forever. The disrespect was bold, calculated, and impossible to ignore. Once Gummo blew up, the whole label dynamic flipped upside down. Before, Trippie was the label's golden child, the one getting all the promo budgets, marketing pushes, and connections. But once 6ix9ine went viral, the spotlight shifted fast. Suddenly, he was the priority artist, the one everyone wanted to invest in, the one with the buzz money couldn't buy. That complete reversal had to sting. The same jealousy that 6ix9ine always claimed started the beef, it might have just come full circle, because now Trippie was the one on the sidelines, watching 6ix9ine celebrate his rise with the same label that used to push him. The tension hit new heights, and while everyone thought the drama couldn't go any deeper, this was just the warm-up act for what was coming next. What came next took their feud from internet trolling to straight-up real-life violence. The situation spiraled so far out of control that it would later end up detailed in federal court testimony for the entire world to see. The hotel attack marked the point where the 6ix9ine versus Trippie Redd beef went from wild drama to something deadly serious. By that point, the tension between them had already hit dangerous levels. File accusations, stolen beats, label politics, and non-stop public humiliation on both sides. But in late 2017, the conflict crossed a line that no one could walk back. That's when 6ix9ine, who was now rolling heavy with the 9 Trey gangsta bloods in New York, decided to take things into his own hands. That crew wasn't just for show. They gave him protection, muscle, and people ready to act on command. When 6ix9ine heard that Trippie was in New York filming a music video, he mobilized the team. What happened next went down inside a New York hotel, and it wasn't just rumors or speculation. 6ix9ine himself has admitted it multiple times in interviews, breaking down the events with disturbing accuracy. He's even said that watching it unfold gave him a twisted sense of satisfaction. According to 6ix9ine's own breakdown, the setup was brutal from the start. Trippie had about 30 people with him, his team, friends, camera crew, everybody there for the shoot. But 6ix9ine and his squad, they pulled up only 4 deep. That imbalance was deliberate. It wasn't about numbers, it was about making a statement. That single act of violence would later come back to haunt him, turning into one of the biggest pieces of evidence in his federal case and proving that this beef had gone way beyond rap. The element of surprise, mixed with how fast 6ix9ine's crew was willing to jump straight into violence, completely tipped the balance that night. The way 6ix9ine describes it is wild, raw, humiliating, and almost cinematic in how he tells it. He paints this scene of Trippie Redd getting blindsided, his gold grills, those signature hip-hop teeth pieces, getting knocked clean out of his mouth and flying across the hotel lobby. He even claims Trippie spun through the revolving doors like something straight out of a cartoon. Now, whether that story got exaggerated for clout or whether that's how it really went down, the key fact stays the same. The attack did happen, and it was serious enough for 6ix9ine to later plead guilty to it during his federal racketeering trial. That alone says plenty. Trippie's side of the story, shared on Instagram Live right after the incident, sounded way different though. He tried to play it cool, said it wasn't some brutal beatdown, just a quick scuffle, maybe one punch thrown before both sides' crews started swinging. He didn't deny it happened, but he definitely downplayed it. The truth probably lives somewhere between those two stories. 6ix9ine painted it like a demolition job, while Trippie made it sound like a minor brawl. But the fact that 6ix9ine's own guilty plea later tied this event to his federal case proves one thing. It wasn't just street talk. The feds considered that hotel fight serious enough to include in his racketeering charges, making it one of the ugliest, most unforgettable moments in their entire feud. The hotel attack marked the point of no return for both of them. No more tweets, no more tracks, no more trolling. Before that, the beef had lived online, accusations flying across social media, diss tracks dropping on streaming platforms, and messy interviews spilling all over hip-hop media. But after that night, it wasn't digital anymore. It was physical, documented, and officially criminal. Trippie Redd's version of what went down that day is way different from 6ix9ine's. While 6ix9ine always pushed the jealousy story, saying Trippie couldn't stand his rise, Trippie paints another picture entirely. In his telling, he was ready to throw hands, while 6ix9ine was the one trying to keep things cool and avoid a real fight. That version totally clashes with 6ix9ine's proud retelling of the hotel beatdown. The wildest part, those clashing stories perfectly sum up their entire feud, a constant battle over the narrative. Who was the real aggressor? Who played the victim? Who's telling the truth? And who's rewriting history? Their beef wasn't just about violence, it became a war over perception, pride, and power. Still, one fact can't be debated. The attack did happen, 6ix9ine did order it, and it did become part of the official federal case that would later land him behind bars. The hotel incident stopped being just a headline. It turned into courtroom evidence in a major racketeering case. That moment exposed the cracks in 6ix9ine's entire image, the real street persona he had built so carefully. He wasn't just the rainbow-haired rapper talking tough online anymore. Now he was the artist officially tied to gang activity, accused of ordering hits and flaunting that lifestyle on camera. By the time the November 2018 federal indictment dropped, everything 6ix9ine had built, his fame, his clout, his credibility, collapsed in real time. By late 2018, everything had come crashing down. 6ix9ine's flashy music videos and gang ties weren't just a part of his image anymore, they were evidence in a federal indictment. Suddenly, the man who built his brand on chaos and controversy was staring down the very real possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. The charges were no joke: racketeering conspiracy, firearms offenses, armed robbery, and drug trafficking. Federal prosecutors claimed 6ix9ine wasn't just hanging around the 9 Trey gangsta bloods for image. He was funding their operations, ordering attacks, and actively taking part in criminal schemes that even included attempted murder. When the feds finally made their move, they didn't come for him alone. He was arrested alongside 5 of his associates and denied bail immediately. The court called him a flight risk and a danger to the community. The racketeering case against him was rock solid: wiretaps, videos, text messages, and insider testimony. There was no easy way out, and with a potential life sentence hanging over his head, 6ix9ine made the move that would define his name forever. He flipped. By September 2019, 6ix9ine was on the stand, cooperating fully with federal prosecutors. He pointed fingers, named names, and broke down the entire 9 Trey structure from the inside out. He didn't just mention who was who. He explained how everything worked, how the gang moved, and how orders were carried out. And when it came to Trippie Redd, he confirmed it all under oath. He admitted that he had ordered the hotel attack himself. No hesitation, no denial, just straight testimony. That courtroom moment sealed his fate in hip-hop history. The rainbow-haired rapper, once known for trolling and chaos, had just done the one thing that would follow him for the rest of his career. He cooperated and exposed everything. That infamous snitch label that still follows 6ix9ine everywhere was born right there in that courtroom. The moment he traded everything he knew for a lighter sentence. Legally, it worked like a charm. Instead of spending the rest of his life behind bars, he walked away with a 24-month sentence, 13 months of that already served, 5 years of supervised release, and a $35,000 fine. He caught one of the biggest breaks in federal court history. By April 2020, 6ix9ine was released early to home confinement because of his asthma and the COVID-19 pandemic sweeping through prisons. While he was home trying to rebuild, the streets were talking. For Trippie Redd, the entire trial felt like karma in action. The same guy who once ordered him jumped, humiliated him online, stole his beat, and mocked him publicly was now testifying for the feds, a move that shattered every so-called street code he used to brag about. Trippie didn't hold back. He went online clowning 6ix9ine's courtroom clips, doing impressions of how he looked on the stand, calling him a straight goofball, and turning the whole thing into another viral moment. The tables had completely turned in a way nobody could have predicted when they were making polls 1469 back in that Hollywood studio. It was wild. 6ix9ine had once been on top. He'd outperformed Trippie on the charts, orchestrated that violent attack, owned headlines, and built one of the most controversial careers in hip-hop history. But now, he was a federal cooperator whose testimony had put away his own crew. Ever since getting out, 6ix9ine's been trying to claw his way back into music. But that snitch label sticks like glue. No matter how many hits he drops or how loud he yells on the mic, that courtroom moment changed his legacy forever. 6ix9ine's music still grabs attention, but that unstoppable dominance he once had, It's long gone. The streams keep coming, sure, but the hype doesn't hit like it used to, and his legal mess keeps stacking higher with every year. The same pattern that led to his January 2026 lockup shows a man who either can't or flat out refuses to follow the rules of his supervised release. It's been one headline after another. October 2023, arrested in the Dominican Republic for allegedly assaulting music producers. January 2024, picked up again for violating a restraining order in a domestic violence case. Add in failed drug tests, unauthorized travel, and constant probation issues. It's like he's daring the system to run out of patience. Each new incident built a picture of someone who'd been given insane leniency by the feds and still couldn't stay out of trouble. Judge Paul Engelmeyer, who's been overseeing 6ix9ine's case from day one, finally said what everyone was thinking. The defendant keeps blowing it despite getting multiple opportunities for rehabilitation. That frustration hit hard because he wasn't wrong. After years of second chances, the hammer finally dropped. In December 2025, 6ix9ine was sentenced to 3 months behind bars. A short term on paper, but symbolically, it felt like everything catching up to him at once. So on January 6, 2026, when 6ix9ine turned himself in, the internet went wild watching it happen live. He had streamer Adin Ross by his side, bumping Akon's Locked Up while federal agents processed him. And somehow, even that became content. Cameras flashing, jokes flying, views skyrocketing, he turned his own surrender into a viral performance. It was the perfect snapshot of his career. Fame, chaos, and self-destruction all tangled together. Even as he was being taken back into federal custody, 6ix9ine refused to drop the act. For Trippie Redd, watching all of this unfold must have hit heavy. Seeing the same man who once caused him so much pain, now trapped in the very image he built for himself. The same man who once ordered Trippie Redd's assault is now back in federal custody, serving time for violating the very cooperation deal that earned him that permanent snitch label. The wild rivalry that began inside a Hollywood studio, exploded in a New York hotel lobby, and peaked in a federal courtroom has officially entered another chapter, with 6ix9ine locked up once again and Trippie on the outside watching it all unfold from a distance. Their beef has never officially ended. There's been no truce, no handshake, no "we've moved past it" moment. No public apology or closure, just more silence, sarcasm, and shade. Every time 6ix9ine goes live or sits down for an interview, Trippie's name finds a way to come up. And whenever someone asks Trippie about 6ix9ine, he doesn't waste time brushing it off, making it clear he's got zero interest in revisiting that mess. The new footage of 6ix9ine surrendering to federal agents, live streamed, soundtracked by Akon's Locked Up, and spread across every social platform, has become the latest piece of evidence in their never-ending saga. It's another viral moment added to a decade-long timeline of betrayal, violence, and public humiliation. What started as two hungry young rappers chasing dreams on SoundCloud turned into a cautionary tale for the whole industry. Their story shows just how fast collaboration can turn into chaos, how fame can twist friendship into rivalry, and how chasing credibility can leave scars that never fade. For both of them, the beef stopped being about music a long time ago. It became a story about pride, choices, and consequences that just won't let go. As of January 2026, 6ix9ine sits locked up in MDC Brooklyn, counting down the days until early spring when his short sentence finally wraps up. Meanwhile, Trippie Redd's out here moving freely, dropping tracks, performing, and keeping his career alive while his longtime rival sits behind bars. The internet can't stop replaying that surrender clip, breaking down every second, every smirk, every line of dialogue. The beef still burns and the story still feels far from over. So now the big question, was this latest footage just Trippie trolling for some attention, or was it a cold, calculated shot meant to remind 6ix9ine exactly who's on top right now? Whatever the motive, one thing's for sure, the rivalry that started years ago refuses to die out. What's your take on all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment to keep up with every twist in this wild saga, because you already know this story's not done yet.